Welcome back to Island Life Live. On December 10th, the City and County of Honolulu announced a new location for its landfill in the middle of pineapple fields in Wahiawa here on Oahu.
Now, the proposed site is already causing controversy and is drawing criticism from both residents and community leaders. One of those community leaders joins us right now, Hawaii State Senator Kurt Fevella. How are you doing, Senator?
All right, good to be here. Good to be here.
We're very happy you're here to talk about this very important issue.
Well, the bottom line is this: we should not be building landfills when there's better technology out there. I'll get into that a little more, but the bottom line is right now this landfill is going to be proposed over an aquifer. And that's farmland too, also farmland, which we also talk about how we need to be sustainable, but then we're going to build a landfill. And they're saying that they can put the double liners. The liners actually had ruptured in Waimanalo and PVT. PVT been there for about 40 years. Waimanalo been there for 35 years. The ailments and the sickness that it comes with having landfills, anybody living around a landfill have 10 years short of their life expectancy moving forward. And this been documented time after time and known all around the world. And the problem is that we're always putting landfills, and now maybe not this one, but all the landfills was put into the community that my family's from, and always in poor and rural communities, because by the time they get some momentum, it's been 30, 40 years already. So my thing was, ever since I got into the square building we call it a Capitol, that we needed to have a good, firm energy, a real true waste to energy plant. We don't have that. H-Power is not a true waste to energy plant. What H-Power does is they pick and choose what they can burn. A true waste to energy plant will burn everything. And the ash will be able to turn into construction material and go for it. So that's not the problem I have right now. And there's nothing to take away from the mayor, but we're not going to repeal Act 73. I talked to my good friend Kai Kahele, who's now the chair of OHA. He was the water and land when we had come up with the Act 73 to prevent things like happening to the Nanakuli community of having landfills in their backyard. I don't want no landfill, even though I always joke, guys, about putting a landfill in Hawaii Kai, Cocoa Head Crater, all of that. I don't want no landfills in anybody's backyard.
But you know, Senator, I mean, the city, we asked them for a comment, and of course they put out that statement when the story originally came out saying, quote, Honolulu needs to have a landfill to dispose of its ash. You mentioned that in the residue from each power plant in Leeward, Oahu, and there's no forward path for the city that does not involve a new landfill on Oahu, and you know, end quote. And to be honest, we make a lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, the current landfill takes in about 250,000 tons of waste annually. So, you know, you mentioned some other options. Can you kind of dive into that?
Singapore right now, 24 hours a day, their landfill is open. Their waste to energy plant. They power most of Singapore through their waste to energy plant. This waste to energy plant is nothing new. The family that I got it from is the Grace family from Waianae. Their dad had this vision many years ago. You gotta understand, when I was on the neighborhood board for over 20 years, we've been talking about landfills. Every time they picked one, it was on the west side. So we decided to come up with this act. So if we had took action, when most of these places right now, the most earliest one that we've seen is 2021. They actually we don't have the room for that, but if we had the room, a true waste to energy plant, clean energy, no CO2, no toxic gas, and again, the ash would not have to go into a landfill because we would recycle it into construction material. Now, I'm not taking anything away from this mayor. I know they're strapped. They got to find one. But why now? They had 20 years. The city and county leaders before that had 20 plus years to find an alternative to the landfill, and they did not.
Don't they have a December 31st deadline to name the site?
Yeah.
Is that why they're doing
this?
Well,
I know they're naming a site too, and I'm not sure. Like I said, I know, you know, I love Mayor Blangiardi. I have no ill feelings towards him, but I know people within his departments is not really showing and telling the truth to the people. They put in this landfill on an aquifer. Yeah.
That makes me nervous.
You know why? Because they want to pressure the Senate and the House to repeal Act 73.
Well,
that's basically what it is.
Now we realize that there is a press conference coming up, and sign waving event that's happening tomorrow. And can you give us a little bit more of that information there so that people can come out and support if they feel strongly?
Tomorrow we're going to be out there sign waving to protect the water, protect the valley, we want to protect our aina. But the main thing is that we got to think smarter. We're in a futuristic state that we can do all of these things. So if you guys really concerned about landfills, especially landfills being put on aquifer or just anybody's backyard, come out, bring your signs, come out, and it's a peaceful demonstration, and we're going to have a good time. Then we're going to follow at 11 at a press conference and explaining the alternatives, and I'm going to be giving out packets on different technologies and why we should be looking into that. Just to cover up and recap, when it took 20 years to find another landfill, right? So it's going to take four to 8 years to get it completed. If we right now pass in legislation this session in the Senate and the House to build a waste-to-energy plant, as the bills pass by and we get the funding, whatever funding through the state, Hawaiian Electric, whoever build them, it'll take 4 years, guys, to build a waste-to-energy plant. They still be going through their community, yeah, that's it.
Well, Senator Fevella, thank you so much for bringing insight and joining us on the show. We appreciate it. So much to unpack or uncover, since we're talking about landfill. And we look forward to the press conference and the sign waving event tomorrow. We'll get more information about that once that happens tomorrow. Thank you again,
thank you guys. Thank you guys.
We're going to take a quick break, and coming up after the break, Kavika Kahiapo with some Christmas music right here on Island Life Live.